All right, hi everyone. I hope this works. I'm using my fancy tripod now, so my colleague will not accuse me of having the camera too low. Today we're going to go through Catullus Carmen 1, Song 1. Carmen is the Latin word for song, one of them, and it's actually where we get the word charm, I believe, because sometimes the songs were related to spells and all that. And so we're looking at specifically Ken Kitchell's Catullus Legamus Transitional Reader, page 7. If you don't have that text, you can find the poem in a number of different places. Okay, so I'm just going to go through it, try to pick the problems that I might anticipate you would have. As I said last time, since people who aren't students of mine might be watching this, I'll tell you if it's a clean show today, and so this will I believe be G-rated. Okay, nothing bad here. Catullus, as some of you know, can get kind of racy. Okay, so he starts out with a dedicatory poem, as almost always you have with these writers. And so he says, you have a question mark, notice at the end of line 2. So he said, to whom, this is from quis quid, which is similar in forms to qui quae quod, okay? To whom do I give my charming, lepidum, new little book, libellum? As Kitchell says, he has on the next page a little discussion of diminutives. That's what this word is, a diminutive. It's kind of like puppy, you know, or kitty instead of cat, that sort of thing. And so he's intentionally being a little bit self-deprecatory, all right? And so, lepidum, novum, libellum, all accusative direct objects. Qui is dative. And then in line 2, the expolitum picks up on libellum. It modifies libellum. It's from the word expolio. And I think he has, if you, over on page 4, he has the words running along with this, so you might even want to look at page 5. Might be more easy for you, although page 7 I think is a little closer to what the original had. He kind of tries to make it easier in the first version or 2 he gives. Okay, so polished. Now, if you want to say this is a perfect passive participle from expolio, so if you want to say having been polished, especially if you're kind of new to perfect passive participles, it's not a bad idea because that kind of reminds you, it's a perfect passive participle. They're from the 4th principal part, right? And they modify. They're in the same gender, number, and case as the noun they modify, in this case, libellum, okay? Polished modo, just now, with a dry pumice stone. In antiquity, you would rub down the edges of your paper. The papyrus was a little rough, and so I believe that's what he means here. Okay, and in line 3, he answers his question. Cornelius. Corneli is a vocative. It's a little bit unusual. It's like Julius would be Uli. So if you have an I-U-S, the vocative is a long I. Okay, Cornelius, to you, Tibby, dative again. For, namque, you were accustomed, or you used to, so lebos. You were accustomed, and that's going to lead you into an infinitive, putare, to think, and then that putare is going to lead you into indirect statement, where you have another infinitive construction. Remember, in Latin indirect statement, if you want to say, I think that he is an idiot, you would say something like, I think him to be an idiot, okay? So you would have, I think, puto, and then him, direct object, and then the infinitive, sa, and then the accusative adjective, in that case, modifying him, okay? So you are accustomed to think meos nugos, literally my nuts or my trifles, okay, my junk, something like that, to be something, esse aliquid. So, you appreciated my work, okay? And again, he's being a little self-effacing with nugos, calling his poems trifles. I'm sure he didn't really look at them like that. Some of them are very short, and maybe he did do them quickly, but you can tell he thought about his work. It's really good poem. So he's kind of saying that, when somebody compliments you on your fine clothes, oh, this old thing, so that's what he's doing, okay? So, Yom Tum, even then, when alone, unus, you dared, ausus es. Now, ausus es is from the verb audio, which is a semi-deponent, which means it becomes deponent in the perfect tenses. Deponents are those verbs where you have passive forms but active meanings. So you translate ausus es as active, even though it is a passive form, strictly speaking, okay? You have perfect passive participle and sum ss, so that would be the perfect passive. But again, you translate it actively, okay? So even then, when you alone of the Italians dared to set forth, explicare, it's like our word explication, to set forth all of time, omne aevum, all of time, in 3 books. Cartes probably translate as book, or Kitchell says maybe volume, something like that, okay? Okay, so Cartes, that would be an ablative of means, I think, tribus Cartes, okay? And then he continues, we have the ablatives doctis, learned, okay, like our word doctor, right? By Jupiter, and laboriosis, it almost has like a negative sense, like tedious almost, but diligent, something like that, strictly speaking. But you can say laborious if you want to, and that would maybe give you both sides of that. He might be teasing his friend Cornelius and suggesting these books are a little boring, Cornelius, Okay, so for this reason, qua re, which is really qua, for which, and re, for which thing, for which reason, okay? For which reason, have or take, now this is a little bit hard, whatever this, quid hoc, and then you understand an est, whatever this is, of a little book, libelli. Again, diminutive, maybe a little self-deprecating. Therefore, take or have for yourself, tibi, whatever this is of a little book, or whatever the little book that I'm giving you here. And then he further kind of qualifies it apologetically, in a sense, quale cumque, such as it is, and that's from, I had to flip over to page 4, from qualis cumque, of whatever sort. Not a word you use a whole lot. Okay. Which, referring to the book, okay, which, O patron virgin, literally, or goddess, we might say. Here, he's addressing one of the muses, okay? Which, O patron muse, may it remain plus more than one eternal generation or age. Cyclum is a fairly long period of time. So again, he's saying, I want this to last a good while. But again, he's not being too pretentious, okay? So a cute little poem. Again, he's intentionally, I think, not claiming too much for this. It's in the style of these poets of this period, especially Catullus, who can be kind of cute. Again, to be self-deprecating, also not to be terribly complimentary of other people. Now he's probably complimentary to Cornelius because Cornelius might be giving him money. Catullus was from a wealthy family, so I don't know whether Cornelius was fully bankrolling this or not, but he might have been giving Catullus some money. But notice, even with Cornelius, I think he's probably teasing him a little bit. So again, he's very flippant. Now, Catullus will not always be flippant in his poems. Sometimes they're very serious, very emotional, very sad. Anyway, that's poem 1. Hope you liked that one and didn't have too much trouble with it. All right, bye-bye for now.